Hello to all my friends out there. And so this video is possible evil agenda behind the floods and the tornadoes. Let's say if these floods and tornadoes were created by man and there was an evil agenda behind these weather disasters. So you might be thinking, well, like what kind of evil agenda? Well, how about pirating the land? What happens when the farmers, land and cattle and machinery, your farm is destroyed, you can't replant, you got to pay taxes. What is going to happen? Well, possibly you could lose your farm, right? That'd be bad. And why wouldn't that happen? That would happen. So I will give you an example. Okay, my poor old mother-in-law and father-in-law worked really, really hard, and they bought a house, and at one point the house was worth $850,000, right? Just prior to that, my father-in-law had a massive stroke, and he was paralyzed in a wheelchair for the last 10, 15 years of his life. My ex-husband had a broken neck, a broken neck, and lifted him in and out of bed and took care of him so he could stay home. And they were getting older. One day, the property flooded with sewage, out of the sewer lines. They had the hatch. Now, mind you, my in-laws were really, really old. They had to stay in a motel. I mean, it was a massive disruption. That was bad enough. Then we had the real estate crash, and the house was worth a fraction. All of a sudden, it was worth no more than $400,000 on an acre. So just that one little case shows you how there was a pirating of the equity. Say what you will, millions of people, their equity was pirated by the real estate crash, right? So we know that your real estate can be compromised and your value can be destroyed. So you can't pay your taxes, you can't plant your farm, you can't do business, and so then what would happen? There will be crops. Possibly these farms might be owned by the government, and so then the farmers would be working for the government. And then their farms would be pirated by the government. And then pretty soon the government would own everything. There would be a very insignificant, they say eventually only about 20% of the population will own homes because it's becoming more and more expensive. So behind these floods could be a diabolical plot to destroy Another thing is, if a massive amount of the population is wiped out entirely, no home, you have to receive help from the government. And a lot of people might be thinking, well, help from the government is our only option because things are so bad. Well, what it really is the government helping themselves. That's what it really, really is. So you want to also prepare for the fact that the government would move in, confiscate all the farmland, Now, mind you, people have paid interest on these homes. Like my mother-in-law, you have a 20, 30-year fixed income, and just because you're going to retire, life is going to be good. Well, you can't save your way out of cost of living increase. I told you I was a nursing student for many years, and what I saw was somebody laying in a little bed with their naked butt sticking out of a hospital gown. being paid for by the government. So what you're going to have to do is say, okay, in the event that the government starts taking over everything, now we're just trying to survive. We're just trying to get out of the flood areas alive. We're just trying to get out as best we can, in other words. So that could be one agenda, and if you want to know the truth, I'd say that one should be pretty accurate. God bless you all.